What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most requested reviews analysis, so stick around. You don't want to miss this. But before we get into that, if you're considering a purchase, don't miss out on this incredible discount available right now. Check the description below and the pinned first comment. Now, let's not delay any further and jump right into the details.
Now, let's hear directly from our first reviewer about their experience.
This reviewer purchased this fat tire e-bike for their 16-year-old daughter and found it to be very well built right out of the box. Our reviewer notes that assembly was straightforward and the packaging did a great job protecting everything during shipping. A quick, easy modification was to swap the included seat for a more comfortable one from an older bicycle, which was a simple personal upgrade to improve the ride. However, this client ran into a couple of issues that could be improved. The first involves the fenders. While the front fender seems durable enough for regular use, the rear one proved to be extremely fragile. The mounting bracket broke within an hour of the first ride, snapping like a toothpick in the cold weather. This wasn't an isolated incident, as the exact same thing happened on their son's similar e-bike. Even a slight brush of a leg while getting on was enough to break it in the cold. To solve the problem, our reviewer had to fabricate a custom metal mount for the rear fender to make it more durable. The second point of frustration was the digital display unit on the handlebar. The owner's manual provided was described as having poor to non-existent instructions for operating it. Basic but essential adjustments, like changing the speed reading from kilometers per hour to miles per hour, were completely undocumented. To figure this and other settings out, the user had to turn to online videos to get the necessary walkthroughs. Finally, the reviewer offers a word of caution for those living in snowy or icy climates. Despite any claims about all-weather performance, this fat tire bike is not recommended for winter conditions like deep snow or icy roads. Based on first-hand experience, they suggest it may only be suitable for perfectly groomed, snow-packed trails, but it simply cannot handle more challenging winter terrain safely.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer purchased their first ever electric bicycle, and after about a 10-day wait for delivery, found themselves absolutely in love with it. Both our reviewer and their husband have been riding it frequently and are thoroughly impressed. The assembly was handled by the client themselves and was described as not being too bad, although the included instructions were a bit vague. The provided assembly video wasn't much help either, as it featured a slightly different model. After getting it set up, they added a few personal touches like a rear rack, a new seat, and a water bottle holder to make it their own. What really surprised this user was the performance. Despite being their first e-bike, they were amazed to find it could reach impressive speeds. This electric mountain bike proved to be incredibly robust, handling riders of different sizes with ease. Our reviewer, who noted they were slightly over the bike's recommended weight limit, found the ride smooth and powerful. Even their husband, a much taller and heavier individual, had no issues. In a real test of its power, the bike still performed exceptionally well, even while carrying both the reviewer and their young daughter on the back. They've taken it through all sorts of terrain, including mud and water, and had a blast doing it. The pedal assist feature is a favorite for longer journeys, and even with the motor's help, they still found it to be a great form of exercise. The battery seems to charge up in just a few hours. The only real drawback mentioned was the inability to purchase a spare battery directly from the company, which is unfortunate. Overall, though, this client considers it a fantastic purchase, especially for a first-time buyer, and they are so pleased that they plan on getting a second one for their husband.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer recently shared a rather frustrating experience concerning a new electric bike. Having previous familiarity with assembling similar vehicles, they found the initial setup of this particular electric bike straightforward. However, their positive start was immediately dampened when the control panel refused to power on. This left the bike completely non-functional from day one, prompting an immediate request for a replacement. Unfortunately, what followed was a period of prolonged silence from customer support, despite numerous attempts to get assistance for the initial defect. Our reviewer expressed deep disappointment and a sense of having wasted hard-earned money. The problems with this electric bike didn't stop there. Soon after, the rear tire went flat, requiring an unexpected repair. While customer support initially estimated a lower cost for replacement, the actual expense turned out to be significantly higher once labor and parts were factored in. Not long after addressing the rear tire, the front one also succumbed to a flat, leading to another unexpected trip to the shop and additional repair costs. The situation escalated further when the electric bike's engine began to malfunction. This client suspected the issue might stem from improper installation during one of the earlier repairs. By this point, even an offer from customer support to replace the engine was met with profound exasperation. Feeling completely fed up with the ongoing issues and repeated expenses, the reviewer decided to pursue a full return for the electric bike. However, this process proved to be another hurdle, with slow communication from the company regarding a solution. Compounding the difficulty, the original packaging had been discarded, making the return logistics even more challenging. Despite this string of negative events and the overall sentiment of regret, there was a small glimmer of resolution reported in a later update. The company's customer support did EV.
That's it for today's review. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let's chat. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.